Hello my fellow friendsets, it's Chris from Shughead Gaming. Being a Rogue Lite Cosmodread is by design supposed to be a punishing experience when first starting out. That being said, dying because you were a dumbass like me can be avoided. Here are 10 tips to keep in mind when venturing into the dark. As always, guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more VR content from me, please consider subscribing. It not only helps out my channel, but VR gaming as a whole. Starting things off, grab energy cells early and wisely. Energy cells serve 3 primary purposes in Cosmodread. Primarily, these can be found powering the lights in a given room or hallway, as each is independently powered on the wall by a cell that will contain a charge between 0 and 3. Cells will power a given spot forever, though, and will only lose a charge when moved and powered back on. Secondly, energy cells are used to power up important equipment, such as key systems that you are tasked to find, and most importantly, the single fabricator machine that you will find in the main hub area that you will come across early on once you open the blue keycard door and leave the starting wing. Thirdly, energy cells are required to actually use that fabricator and must be broken down to reclaim their charges. So, yeah, energy cells are one of the most important resources in the game, but resist the urge to just start shutting down lights and instead be strategic about it. The starting wing that you begin in is literally just that, and once you advance past the blue door, you are never required to return to it. As such, take any and all cells you see in this first area as long as they have at least one charge. Use the cell with the lowest charge to power up the main hub room, providing it isn't already, then break down the rest in the fabricator. Though, keep in mind, the fabricator can't be used until you have at least a single blueprint. Finally, it really isn't in your best interest to turn the lights off in rooms and hallways you will be walking back and forth through. Instead, watch for dead-end rooms such as bathrooms and offices. Take those cells and close the door behind you and forget about them forever. Related to my point above, light is life. Lit rooms and hallways in Cosmodread are more than just less stressful areas to walk through. Like the movie Pitch Black, light is your friend. Lit areas are much less likely to be populated with organic-based enemies, as they don't like the light. Your flashlight doesn't count though, hence why I recommended you keep charged cells in their place when at all possible. More importantly, enemies that die in these dark areas will zombie and come back to mess you up later in the game. Keep those lights on, and any organic enemy downed will simply disintegrate in the light. Consequently though, if you walk into a room with a remote turret, take its power source and shut it up. Keep the home safe. The main hub area will be an area you return to often. As such, when first entering it, do yourself a favor. Power it up, scrounge the area, and figure out where the doors are to the multiple wings, and make sure that any that aren't key-locked are also closed. A habit I strongly recommend you get into the habit of to ensure you keep the hub a safe place and don't get rudely interrupted while crafting away at the fabrication machine. Don't dilly-dally. For those who were used to making material runs and farming resources when playing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, this is not that game. Your inventory is very limited and you will likely be tempted to collect all the resources you can when exploring a given area. However, watch your oxygen levels, as some playthroughs can really screw you on oxygen supply levels, making back and forth trips a very calculated risk-reward decision. Primarily because once you've been through the majority of an area, that also means you have found all the oxygen there is, with repeat visits likely resulting in a deadly case of diminishing returns. Finally, get every minute of oxygen you can. Trust me, you will need it. As such, when the oxygen alarm goes off, ignore it and wait until you are actually out, as this can gain you at least an extra 5 minutes. Scrounge smart. Like I previously said, your inventory will fill up fast. With only 10 starting slots, this goes fast once you realize that you have to carry a few ammo clips, oxygen tanks, maybe a health syringe, and a key card. As such, prioritize what you actually take. Metal, organics, and plastics are really easy to find and are also usually secondary resources in the items you really should be looking for. So, once you're done some early scrounging of the first wing and the main hub, turn your focus to rarer materials. Early on, go for items with microchips like tape recorders, junk electrical chips, and calculators. Another early resource that will be key is chemicals. For this, keep an eye out for quart-sized jugs along with certain ammo types or grenades. That is, if you can afford to break them down. Next, in level of importance, will be flammable material and nuclear waste. For these, keep an eye out for jerry cans, fuel canisters, and certain types of ammo and grenades. And related to the top, don't stockpile. Yeah, don't do what I did early on. With only a crossbow to defend myself, I started to collect a lot of ammo to other weapons I hadn't yet found. Not wanting to waste this precious commodity, I decided to start piling it on the table next to the fabricator. Yeah, don't do that. It won't be there when you get back. Instead, just break it down. Don't be dumb. Now, I'm not sure if this one is just me being dumb, but for probably my first hour in Cosmodread, every time I needed to reload a weapon, I would open up my inventory, pull out a new clip, and yeah, reload it. Duh, don't waste time on that. Unless you need to change ammo types, for all other reloads, simply reach behind your shoulder, and the current ammo type, if you have any left, can be pulled out automatically, as if from a backpack. Ha, so much easier. Holster 2 guns. Yeah, that title should be pretty self-explanatory. Found a second weapon? The game won't tell you this, but you can holster a weapon on each side of your waist. No need to waste another inventory slot. And finally, music is your friend. Music in Cosmodread is used expertly and often in an effort to scare the crap out of you. However, it is actually your best friend, as it can usually be counted on as an early detection system of hostiles in your vicinity. When the music swells up in the mix, get your gun out and scan the shadows, as chances are you are either in a room with something that wants to fuck you up, or something is going to be coming up shortly. Hear the music and don't see anything? 9 out of 10 times, you're wrong. Keep your head on a swivel. That being said, those spider-like facehugger things, they don't often set the music off and love to just lie in wait, going as far as to pop out of closed cupboards. You've been warned. Anyways, guys, that's some tips and tricks to get you through your first few hours of Cosmodread without maybe dying as much as I did. If you yourself have come across any other tips and tricks, please feel free to throw them in the comments below, as I'm sure other viewers will find it very, very useful. As always, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you on my next video.